In my previous video on this channel, we built a subwoofer with a 6.5 inch driver that will play down into the low 30s. Check the card top right for the link to that video. This week we will build an awesome matching soundbar. Now that I have all the parts cut, and before I start the assembly, let's look at the 3D design to give you a better idea of what I am building. First though, I am including an Auralic up-to-stream wireless board in this build. This is the up-to-stream Pro that includes Wi-Fi and Bluetooth streaming from your mobile device or computer. The specs on these boards are very good, and after having used a few of these in projects, I must admit that the sound quality is excellent. It includes so many features, way too many to mention here, but I use it on a daily basis to stream podcast episodes and music from Tidal around the house. Go check out my previous video where I built a complete wireless speaker with one of these boards. I'll put up a card top right of the screen and in the description with a link to that video. I also have the complete build plans available for these on my website at soundblab.net, and will also have for this soundbar build. The wireless board in this build is completely optional though, and you can still build this soundbar without incorporating it, and I will demo it later in the video. The entire build can be done with only 6mm or 1/4 inch MDF, or any other 6mm or 1/4 inch material, for example birch ply or similar. I have made a few additions to it, like a veneered top panel and 3mm brushed aluminium plates on the sides, just to give it some visual appeal and round off the look. The soundbar uses two 2.5 inch full range drivers and a 1/4 inch tweeter from Dayton Audio on either side of the stereo channels, and a custom designed crossover. The soundbar project consists of two builds, the soundbar and the accompanying 6.5 inch subwoofer with 2.1 or 0.1 selectable output channels that produces 30+30 watts stereo and 60 watts mono for the subwoofer. For this I am using a small plate amp that I purchased from Parts Express. There are links to this in the description below. Go check out the subwoofer build, link in the description or card top right. I will have build plans available on my website for both the soundbar and subwoofer combo, or just the subwoofer if you have your own stereo speakers and just want to add a subwoofer to the mix. Let's get on with this build though. Here I'm using a sanding sealer to seal the MDF before applying the undercoat and top coat of spray paint. I'm then masking off the veneered panel to avoid any overspray from the undercoat and black top coat. The undercoat is applied with 2 coats and sanding in between with a 320 grit sandpaper. The black top coat or color coat is applied the same with 2 or 3 coats and then sanding in between again with 320 grit sandpaper. Finally, I apply a top coat in clear satin. To apply the speaker grillcloth to the front panel, I use contact spray adhesive. A light coat on the grill panel, and then I can stretch the cloth over the panel and press it down to hold it in place. crossover network is a relatively simple second order design with an L pad on the tweeter to bring its level in line with the full range drivers. The entire crossover for each channel consists of only 7 parts. The frequency response achieved with this crossover is fairly flat with a crossover point at 3000 Hz. You will see the bass drop slightly from roughly 400 Hz downwards, but since this soundbar will most likely be mounted against a wall or on a TV cabinet, this will be boosted by this boundary and compensate for the drop in this range. The impedance curve is also looking good with a nominal impedance of 4 ohms. Here I am applying weather stripping to ensure a good airtight seal before inserting the damping material in the speaker enclosure cavity and closing it all up with a few screws. Before I can fix the acrylic wireless module in place, I have to stick the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth antennas to the enclosure. The sides of the soundbar enclosure is finished off with 2 pieces of 3mm aluminium that is brushed with a 320 grit sandpaper and then a coat or 2 of clear spray can lacquer applied. It is then fixed to the sides with construction adhesive. Finally, if you want to hang the soundbar on a wall, you can fix keyhole brackets to the back, otherwise you can just place the soundbar on a TV cabinet below your TV. Before we go on to the sound demo, please remember that this is a demo and not a sound test, and you will not be able to accurately hear what I hear when listening to the system in person. However, I do hope it gives you some idea of the capability of the system. So if you want to build a system like this for yourself, then please support my channel by purchasing the build plans for the soundbar and subwoofer combo, and please subscribe to my channel and click the like button. You can also support me by becoming a patron on Patreon, where I share behind the scenes posts and videos of my projects. Currently I have started a new exciting project, and I will be posting videos on this build for my patrons of how I go about designing and building this speaker in more detail than here on YouTube. So let's do the sound demo. Until next time, adios.
just singing, it should have been you. Another time, another place, I just know it could have been you. What a crime and what a shame to let go. Sometimes I just don't know what to do. It should have been you. Driving to your place, but now the ground is shaking. Could be a phase, but it feels like it will never go away until we make up. I can't be myself. I never knew how much I needed you. It should have been you. Another time, another place, I just know it could have been you. What a crime and what a shame to let you go. Sometimes I just don't know what to do, 'cause it should have been you. It should have been you. I could be wrapped around your arms instead of